Hey everybody, my name is Sparky, and before we get started here, I'd just like to take a moment to sincerely apologize for just the lack of updates, the lack of content. It's been literally months at this point since I posted the last part of Link's Awakening 100%, and since this is the finale, it's unexcusable for not getting it done sooner. It's all because of that little problem I mentioned last time where I unintentionally start to lose interest in projects I'm doing, whether or not I'm legitimately enjoying doing them or not. But what matters is that I'm here. We've got some unfinished business with this game. We've got to wake up a fish. So let's get started. Alright, no waiting. No excuses. We're jumping right in. We've got to finish this. There's been a lot of Zelda news since I've last played. Toon Link has been confirmed to return in the next Smash Bros., which honestly I did not see coming. And Wind Waker HD and A Link Between Worlds are either out or on their way to being released. It's pretty exciting, I gotta say. Both games look amazing. And I really wish I could afford that Wind Waker edition of the Wii U. Enough about Elder Zelda games, I guess. We've got business here. The first order of business is to reclaim the Blue Tunic. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Alright. Only playing for a little while, and already I totally screwed up something. That shouldn't come as any surprise, though. Anyway, yeah, we've got to reclaim the Blue Tunic. Because the Red Tunic's been faithful, but I still prefer the extra defense to the Blue Tunic. Of the Blue Tunic, I mean. Wouldn't be an episode of this without me flubbing up my words. Oh, I exploded. There's actually not that much more we have to do in the game. We just gotta grab our tunic back and get the last photo, and then we have all the collectibles. Hello, fairy. We're back. Coming this far, yada yada yada, we know. Power of color, blah blah blah, 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 defense, choose blue. Choosing blue. Yes. Close your eyes. You've got the blue clothes, yada yada yada, we know. Alright. Now that our fashion emergency is out of the way, it's time to head back to Mabe Village. Which is right down through here. I may forget the order that gravestones work in, but I'll never forget the layout of this game. So, the last photo, you can technically get this anytime you want, but I've been putting it off to the last second for a very good reason. Just for a comparison, let's talk to Marin first, before we get this photo. Thank you for everything. Spark, you are the kindest boy I know. Aw. One day I made a wish to the windfish. What was the wish? It was... No, it's a secret. Spark, someday you will leave this island. I just know it in my heart. Don't ever forget me. If you do, I'll never forgive you. Alright. Notice how she was very specifically calling us by name. Now, let's go take care of this. Let's see, I am missing an arrow. Oh, I gotta pay, huh? Well, what if I run around you in a circle? Yeah. No? No? Ah! Oh, come on. See, this did not take me this long in practice. There we go! Guess what? You got it for free! Are you proud of yourself? And little do we know that we were just photographed. Yep, if we check our little menu, we have all 12 photographs. We're a thief, and the game lets us know it. Thief! Someday you will leave this island. Yeah, the reason I was putting this off to the last second is that it forcefully changes your name, and you can't do anything to change it back. Which is kind of annoying. That's the one really, really big thing I'd say I don't like about this game. But other than that, it's pretty awesome, I gotta say. One more final note, do not go back in the shop ever again. 'Cause if you do, the shopkeeper will kill you. Quite seriously. And yes, it does count towards your file death count, meaning you won't have no death run if you're trying to do that. So, yeah, don't do that. Shop is totally off limits from this point on. So, you want to know what the strongest enemy in the game is? An angry shopkeeper. I wasn't kidding when I said pay. Now you'll pay the ultimate price. Yep. Kills you in one hit. Hey, the game over screen. Definitely didn't think I'd see this, now did you? And if you continue, geez, back to normal. But like I said, that does count as a death on your game. So just avoid stealing unless it's to get that photo. And hey, since I completely forgot to show this while I was actually playing, let's take a look at our photo album. The Adventures of Thief. Gee, even he knows. Alright, all 12 photos in this album. Us being pretty awesome. Us and Marin out by the cliffside. Marin falling on us. Terran totally ruining the mood. Uribra gabbing on his phone. Us getting chased by Bow Wow. Us being a sneaky little thief. The fisherman practically drowning to death. A friendly Zora. Posing like awesome in front of the gate. Chillin' with a ghost. And lastly, the photographer falling off the bridge. Overall, the photos are a fun extra to get. Anyway, we have one more quick thing we've got to do. And that's in the library. We've got to do some reading. Dark Secrets and Mysteries of Koholint. Do you really want to read it? This book is an interesting little thing. Before you get the magnifying glass, the print in it will be too small to read. And it has some important information for us in it. Round and round the passageways of the egg. Left, up, right, up. Left, up, right, up. This book reeks of secrets. So yeah, before you have the magnifying glass, this book is totally unreadable. And the final part of the game cannot be completed until you read this book. It's a little weird. Some sources claim that, yeah, it's impossible, but others say you can just skip right ahead if you happen to know what to do ahead of time. But the fact of the matter is, and I did test this in practice, you cannot finish the game with brute force. You have to read this book. And plus, the passageway that you take in the final area that the book tells you here changes every time you play. Well, it changes between games. It'll always be consistent for one file. But even if you happen to know it beforehand, you cannot complete the game without reading that book. But anyway. So, even though this is the first game to introduce the trade sequence, I'm pretty sure it's the only game that requires you to do the trade sequence in order to beat the game. Interesting, that. Anyway. Our final destination is right up here on the mountains. Just gotta get some rocks out of the way. Now up and up and up we go. Up Mount Tamaranch. Or Tamarank. However you pronounce it. To the Windfish's Egg. Where, finally, we can put all those instruments we've been collecting to good use. Favorite part in any game ever, right there. The time has come. The Windfish awaits. Enter the egg. Hoot hoot. And so we do. The Windfish's Egg. And with that, finally, the end game is here. Time for one more break before we finish the game. Okay. It's time to do this. And jump in a pit. Whee! Welcome to the Windfish Maze. This place loops forever unless you know the way through it, as stated in the book in the Mabe Village Library. Left, up, right, up, left, up, right, up. Like I said, that path through the egg changes every time you start a new file, and you have to read the book before you can complete this maze. Otherwise, it just loops forever. But anyway. Very creepy remix of Ballad of the Windfish in here, I like it. Anywho, it's time to do this. We were born of nightmares. To take over this world, we made the Windfish sleep endlessly. If the Windfish doesn't wake up, this island will never disappear. We would have been the masters of this place, but you had to come here and disrupt our plans. You can never defeat us. Let's rumble. Meet the Nightmare. The Nightmare has various forms, the first of which being Nightmare of Giant Bot, whose weakness is the magic powder. Every form has different attack patterns and different weaknesses. Like that. Form 1 down. And now, Nightmare of Agahim. We need to swing our sword as fast as possible and act this attack back at him. Agahnim was one of the main enemies of A Link to the Past. As most Zelda fans probably remember. Oh, that's a bad one. You can't knock that one back. I actually find the shield comes in pretty handy for this, now that I'm remembering to actually use it. It doesn't totally block the damage, I guess. I guess it's more helpful just to get out of the way. Form down. Next, Nightmare of Moldorm. This guy's the same as always. Alright, next, Nightmare of Ganon. There is more than one way to damage him. Hopefully I can remember what. Right. Spin attacks are probably the way you want to go for this fight. But ramming him does work too. Next, Nightmare of Lanmola. There we go. And lastly, Nightmare of Deathel. Nightmare of Deathel is a pretty tricky fight, unless you know his weakness. He actually has two weaknesses, but the game really expects you to use one over the other. I'll show off the other one later, though. You have to wait for the right opportunity for him to open his eye, and then start firing arrows into it. He is not easy. Pardon me if I go a little quiet. There's a lot of jump concentration that goes into this fight. Sometimes he just does not want to open his eye. Work with me here. Thank you, magic potion. Even with added defense, he does a pretty solid 1.5 hearts a hit. But that's it. This island is going to disappear. Our world is going to disappear. Our worlds. Our worlds. Thief! You have beaten all the nightmares. Climb the stairs before you. Owl! Hoot, young lad. I mean, thief, the hero. You have defeated the nightmares. You have proven your wisdom, courage, and power. As part of the Windfish's spirit, I am the guardian of his dream world. But one day the nightmares entered, and the dream began to enter the dream and began wreaking havoc. Then you, thief, came to the rescue of the island. I have always trusted in your courage to turn back the nightmares. Thank you, thief. My work is done. The Windfish will wake soon. Goodbye. Hoot. Well, I am the Windfish. Long has been my slumber. In my dreams, an egg appeared and was surrounded by an island with people, animals, an entire world. But verily, it be the nature of dreams to end. When I dost awaken, Koholint will be gone. Only the memory of this dream land will exist in the waking world. Someday thou may recall this island. That memory must be the real dream world. Come, thief, let us awaken. Together! Play the 8 instruments. Play the Song of Awakening. And with that, Koholint and everything on it is gone. Extreme waking up! And our hero himself does wake up in the middle of the ocean. Left to wonder, was it just his dream? Well, looks like the adventure happened to me. And credits. Which are admittedly a little messed up thanks to the emulator. That's one reason I really prefer the playing the original game over an emulated version. But in order to do this project, I really didn't have much of a choice. I don't have the necessary hardware to record for my Game Boy cartridge. By the way, buying this game on your 3DS is totally worth your money and you need to do it. That aside, though, this game is awesome. I'll talk about my thoughts on the whole thing in a little while. But for now, I guess we just watch the credits roll. R&D2D stuff. Super Mario Club. Everything about this game is just so awesome. Well, it does have its flaws, I guess. But for an old Game Boy game, it really does seem to get a lot across. Definitely one of the best Zelda games. And my personal favorite. Shigeru Miyamoto! The end. Though there's one more thing. Our price for not getting any deaths. Marin gets her wish, and becomes a seagull to travel away from the island. The development team would like to thank you for playing. And like I said, if you don't own this game, and you happen to own a 3DS, go get it off the eShop. It is 1000% worth your money. And with that, Link's Awakening 100% comes to a close. I want to thank anyone who stuck with me through the lack of updates, and again, I apologize for that. Overall, this was a really fun project to work on, because Link's Awakening will now and forever be my favorite Zelda game. It's not only the first Zelda game I played all the way through and beat, but as time's gone on, I've grown to appreciate it a lot more, and for different reasons. Link's Awakening is overall a fun and quirky game, but at the same time it can really make you think. In order to wake up the Windfish and escape the island, Link has to erase everything on it from existence. All of the friendly faces he's met up to that point, including Marin, who he kind of starts to develop a romance of sorts with. So, it's a heartful and soulful game, and at the same time a very thought-provoking one. And for a Game Boy title, that really says a lot. Like I said though, I really appreciate everyone for sticking with me through this, and I do look forward to doing more projects like this in the future. Just maybe not ones as long or as demanding on my attention span, because unfortunately, that is a problem of mine. But anyway, we'll leave that to the future. For now, Sparky's gonna sign off. Thank you for watching, and hey, here's one more clip for the road. Alright, one last clip to demonstrate Nightmare of Deathel's other weakness. Yes, It's the boomerang. Jerk. Just gotta time it right. One shot from the boomerang, and he's done. Yeah? That just happened. Well, I guess it just goes to show you.